You leading, Dan? She's being very bossy.
Hi.
Are you leading?
Yeah.
Being very bossy. He said, don't want that jelly cat in it. This is
I want jelly cats in it. You're a liar.
You're just being very bossy today.
Right, let's start properly.
What are we calling it?
Now it's time for Mug Podcast Day. And it's Podcast Day. Da, da, da.
What we're calling the podcast, my love, have we decided? We haven't decided. I think Lauren and Dan unpacked. Then you've got packers. Packers in like your home. Unpack the drama.
I'm feeling something like daytime TV, like sofa and a chinwag.
Like Lauren and Dan this morning.
Sofa and a chinwag.
Yeah.
Lauren and Dan unpacked. I like that.
Each episode will have a different mug.
I've only just found this mug and it's delightful. But then I also found out that her ex-boyfriend bought it. How nice is that? So thank you for the mug. It's great.
We both went to Disneyland Paris and got these mugs. I always get a mug wherever I go.
Have I ever been to Disneyland Paris? Once when I was 10 years old.
And you said you're going to take me when you hit 100k.
Yeah, I did. So, make it happen.
So, Lauren and Dan unpacked. Love it.
Lauren and Dan chinwagging.
The main thing that people want us to talk about is the wedding. Dan's on one about the wedding at the minute. I mean, I'm going to give you some credit here. I found a venue and I found a catering company and I was like, this is well cheaper than booking a venue that does food.
Yeah, it was.
All of a sudden, and it isn't my fault, is it?
No, not at all, no.
They've just randomly said, well, you must have our DJ, which is €3,000 plus VAT. You must have lighting if you want to have your dinner in the courtyard. That's $1,250 plus VAT. What was the other one? Oh, and you must have our coordinator. That's $900 plus VAT.
The thing I find annoying with it, it's like going to buy that jelly cat in the shop. And on the price tag, it says 28 quid in it. And you go, oh, brilliant, yeah, I'll buy that. That's well worth it. You stick it down in the till and they're like, no, actually, it's 60 quid because of this and this and this and this. I'm like, why don't you just put that on the tag?
It's very true.
That's what I find annoying.
Like when you go to America and you think you're getting a bargain.
Yes.
But you forget that they had the tax on everything.
So it was a really, really good, affordable price. And more importantly, we loved the venue. Both really liked it. But then all of a sudden, it's like, oh, no, you've got to have this. And you're like, cool, how much is that? $4,000. You're like, oh, that's not just a
it's
pocket change
annoying
thing.
Because we thought we would scrimp and scrape on the DJ. Because every single party I ever have, I literally plug my phone in. Bloody hell, N-Dubs is playing by the end of the night.
Spotify.
And then this DJ with this venue's like, oh, I'm an 80s, 90s super fan.
Jazz, funk.
I'm like, oh, we've not mentioned Britney. So we would like a bit of Britney, a bit of Oasis and Stone Roses.
Love it.
So we can't scrimp and scrape on the one thing we thought we could.
Yeah. You were kind of backed into a corner that if you want the venue, you've got to have these add-ons and you're like...
But the positive is we are set on Mallorca. We quite like it, don't we?
We're still trying to make the venue work. We are still looking at the list and going, what could we then budget out of that, if that makes sense?
I just don't know where for. Like, you just literally sat there going, right, 7,000 for catering, fine, and all of a sudden your wedding's 40,000. Yeah. Make it make sense.
I do feel like, and I've said this to you, that even in the UK, you stick the word wedding onto something and people just start creating stupid prices.
Yeah, they do.
Whereas this DJ, whatever his name is, if I wanted to book him for my birthday, 400 quid probably.
Yeah.
But because you've said wedding, they're like, brilliant, $3,000.
Well, obviously it's a wedding venue, so the DJ that he works with, he's quids in if he's exclusive to them.
Hey, people say, be an influencer, be this, be that. Be a DJ in Mallorca. Because if you're earning $3,000 every Saturday, that is silly figures, that.
Yeah.
Silly numbers.
Do you know what? It's really difficult getting married because, and this is why I didn't want to get married in the UK, because genuinely, right, 35 grand, puff, it's gone in a day.
Yeah.
It kills me. And I'm very not sensible with money. I'm like, 40 grand, take my money.
Yeah.
But it's a day. Like a day.
I agree.
Your wedding starts at 5 p.m. and finishes at 2 a.m.
Less than a day, because you've got to get married in the evening because of the heat.
Yeah.
You've got to remember that.
Well, don't think about the UK as well. The UK's still not a day.
Most weddings I've been into in the UK are a day.
What time do they start? No, about 2 p.m.
But it depends though, doesn't it? Because if you're getting married, like I would go around to a friend's house and you do this and you do that. Whereas because you are doing it abroad in August, you are limited because of the heat.
Yeah.
So your wedding won't start until 5 o'clock, which is what they've said, which is great. But in the UK, I'm already pissed by 5 o'clock. I'm pissed, loving life.
5 o'clock somewhere.
5 o'clock somewhere.
Yeah, it has pissed me off, I'm not going to lie.
I'm loving life, but
But my issue is, I'm sorry, I'm not even being snobby right now, hear me out. When you get into event planning, you're always striving to be the best. Like, you're always buying new costumes, you're always looking for better venues. And I do venues at a social club, I do venues at events at wedding venues, so I'm not snobby. And you can take a good picture anywhere, I know that.
Yeah.
But when you're in events, Pinterest is the love of your life. And I just love Pinterest. And every time I go on Pinterest, Dan, the weddings that I want are 100 grand.
You can't have it. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but it's not happening.
No, I know.
If someone sat down, if I was in a Mr. Beast game now, and they put down a table of 100 grand in front of me, I don't have that currently, but if someone put it down in front of me and went, do you want to spend this on a wedding? Or do you want to maybe spend 30 on it and do some really cool stuff with the rest of the money?
Yeah.
I go, yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, but that's because we don't come from money. We're sensible in that aspect.
We're normal people.
Yeah, 100%.
I think
But sometimes 100 grand is pocket change to some people, like
yeah,
celebrities.
you get that.
Like, if they're on like footballers, they're like 100 grand, that's like 50p to them.
True.
But anyway, we're not those sort of people, but we do love the venue and we're going to try and make it work.
We're doing our best to make it work because we love it. And
I over-egged the budget, right? I was sat down with Becky, and when we were like, right, how much would a celebrant be? We were like, right, maybe 1,000. So we were putting 2,000. And the overall, absolutely everything all in came to 36. And that was over-egging it.
My argument on that is, though, a celebrant is somebody that will do the service in Spain for you. But you can't legally get married in Spain. So we're going to have to go to a registry office in Salford or Manchester.
Dan's going to suggest that my dad does this.
In Salford or Manchester, get married legally, then go to Spain and pay £1,000 for somebody to read out some words to me. So I was genuinely serious, like,
get your answer.
Why don't you get your dad to do it? Like, that's cute. Your dad will marry us. We save money. Or I'll get one of my nieces. It'll be cute. Why am I paying £1,000 to somebody? It doesn't matter. It's words. You know, this doesn't count to anything.
Listen, they're conductors. They're conducting the ceremony.
I tell you what, business idea. I will move to Mallorca.
I'm just going to say, you shouted at me for shouting, and you're shouting into that mic.
I will do you a price if anybody's getting married in Mallorca. I'll DJ and I'll marry you for £2,000.
Your mic's very close to your neck, darling, and I'm just panicking ever so slightly about the sound.
£2,500. £2,500. I'll be your DJ and I'll marry you. Bargain.
Right, Dan's opening a new business.
But it actually is, that is a bargain. People.
So let's just round up where we're up to about the wedding. That's what people want to know, Daniel. Where are we at? What are we doing?
We found a venue. The venue were trying to rip us off, so we're trying to make the venue work.
A good tip with what I've found, and someone messaged me this on TikTok, if you find a couple of venues, YouTube them.
Yeah.
And you will see people's wedding videos, you'll get a feel for it. And this particular venue, the communication's amazing, which is everything.
They are great, in fairness.
Right?
Yeah.
So the communication's unreal. There's loads of wedding videos on YouTube that I can like put myself into. Imagine myself getting married there. And you know what? It would be more expensive if you wanted like a 3-day celebrate everything. So we can just say to people, right, we're going on a boat trip this day, we're doing that this day.
Yeah.
People who want to join us will join us. And that's the vibe we're going for.
It's a very nice wedding venue. We're just a little bit like, ooh, look at all these hidden prices.
Oh, it's just the DJ that's tipped us over the edge.
Yeah, the DJ's nuts. Like,
I want a DJ down in the house.
I mean, I was talking to one of the mates about it yesterday, and I'm like, he's not even DJing. He's going to make a Spotify playlist and press play.
On his 80s funk jazz. Yeah, we want like movie soundtracks playing throughout dinner. I already know what I know what I'm walking down the aisle to. Like, I hope, you get a technician, so I hope like all of that's good with the DJ. Everything's going to run smoothly with music.
If I'm paying £3,000, it's going to be good.
Yeah. If £3,000, I hope Britney Spears herself turns up. I'm not
For
gonna lie.
£3,000, he can't turn around and go, you can't really do that. I'd say, listen, Luis, I can. I've paid you £3,000.
Luis, I think he's gone.
If I want you to tap dance up and down that aisle to your Funko jazz, you're doing it. Sorry, mate.
The annoying thing is, we will give him a playlist and he will stick to that, and we're paying £3,000 plus VAT.
Plus VAT.
Plus VAT to basically play my playlist, which is already completed, by the way.
Spotify. Thanks.
Also, apparently, our first dance potentially might be an Oasis song.
Ooh, we're not going to reveal which one, though.
No, not revealing anything, but do you know what? When Dan says everything's my way, I've sat there and listened to Oasis and gone, no, I'm feeling that.
There's this
I wanted, whoa, my
overrated.
love.
There's this endemic thing
My
with Lauren where
darling.
we'll have a conversation about something. I'll give my opinion. She'll tell me I'm wrong. Within a couple of hours, she'll come round and go, "Yeah, you were right about that, weren't you?" And I'm like, "Yeah."
I never told you were wrong about this particular
Yeah.
song. I just said I don't know it. I need to listen to it. And it wasn't our song. Or did you ask me to be your
I
girlfriend?
should see my girlfriend too. Yeah.
Yeah, you did. All right, it is our song.
My argument is, when you take the rock element out of Oasis, there's some of the best written songs you'll ever listen
Yeah,
to.
we like the acoustic version.
And when you've listened to the acoustic version, you're like, oh, this is actually a love song. And I'm like, yeah,
This is actually a love song.
you know.
Our options were Can't Help Falling in Love, Elvis Presley. A little bit overdone, I'll give you that.
Very overdone.
We also like Ghost, Unchained Melody.
You liked it. I
Yeah,
was a bit...
Molly Mae's sister had that as her first dance.
That's good for Molly Mae's sister.
And then, what was the other one we liked? Oh, Earth
From Back to the
Angel.
Future. Earth Angel.
It's just not, to me, that romantic.
Will you be mine?
My love is whatever.
Great.
Yeah, it's not that romantic,
I
darling.
feel like it is.
Okay, it's not.
George and Lorraine have their first kiss to it.
Very true, but it was very you orientated.
Yeah.
But now I've picked up maybe Oasis. You never know.
Love it.
I'm very passionate about the playlist. I have sorted that instantly. My Pinterest board's ready to go. I was going to go and try dresses on the 1st of March, but now we're going somewhere very special.
Yes.
No revealing just yet. It's somewhere that I manifested. Did I or did I not manifest where we're going?
Did, yeah. You did.
I did. Are you excited?
Yeah, it's one of those experiences that is like life-changing, I think.
It is life-changing. I'm so excited. It was going to be our honeymoon.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
We genuinely written it
Didn't
down
really
as
give Dan an option with that one.
No. But in fairness, it's not a bad option to have. I'd be like,
No, it's
yeah, okay.
banging. But yeah, we're going there in 2 weeks. That's really exciting.
Yeah, it is.
Where were I going with that?
I don't know.
Why did I move on to where we're going?
I think it was honeymoon based.
Was it?
That's where we were going to book, I think.
Oh, I don't know.
Love that.
I love that. Anyway, someone did ask us, to be fair, what holidays we've got planned for the year.
Yes.
So we've got that, which is a massive, massive bucket list moment. Who knows, I hope we end up back in America, because we will miss it dearly if we don't.
We've kind of said last year, we were very, very lucky with travel last year to work with a lot of brands, but every travel brand opportunity that came in clashed with a holiday.
Oh my God.
Because we like going away.
Sorry, one holiday. We had one holiday booked for Dan's mum's 70th. This is
But
insane.
New York very nearly clashed again.
No, it didn't, because they said they were going to attach it to it. They were making it work.
True.
Right, we had one holiday last year. Vegas, LA, Hawaii. My other videos are on YouTube, by the way, if you do want to go and watch
If you
them.
want to subscribe and give them a watch.
Like, subscribe, comment. And it was a 2-week trip, and it was like the 1st of June.
It was
for 2
mega.
weeks.
It was for a 70th. It was
Right.
a mega, mega trip.
All 3 brand trips, Detroit and Disney World twice, clashed with that trip.
Yeah.
And I nearly threw up, didn't I? And
Yeah.
then we tried to make it work. So we tried to basically say, right, we're going Vegas, LA, Hawaii. If I go to Florida with Disney, I'll meet you in LA. I've already been to Vegas.
Yes.
And then we went to and then Detroit came. We said no. And then the Detroit one came through, which was like, we thought maybe Eminem's going to be there, etc. So I told you to go into Virgin, and she said, you cannot not get on that flight to Vegas.
Because it was booked as a package, Virgin do this thing where they were like, if you miss one flight, the rest of your package is void because you've paid for a package, which makes sense.
So you don't get on that first flight, and then everything else after that
is done.
Yeah.
So we were trying to work out if Lauren flew to Florida, did that, came and met us, or if we went to Detroit, met my mum in Vegas after maybe 2 days. But Virgin were like, you
just
physically
can't.
can't do it.
So Dan nearly had a heart attack in the Trafford Centre because I said to you, you need to ask them how much it is to move the entire holiday
Yes,
back a
we
week.
did.
Are you glad I did that?
Yeah, of course. It was sick.
Right, we did not get told that Eminem was coming on the stage in Detroit. They basically said Lauren might like the artist, put it that way.
Yeah.
Then when Diana Ross opened it, it was all Detroit artists. I was like, Dan,
Yeah, it was insane.
Eminem is ending this because Diana Ross is like, how can you start with her and not have a good
They
finale?
had some big people like Jack White from the White Stripes was there. Big Sean. Never heard of Big Sean before, but
Seen
I've
a Justin Bieber song.
seen him twice last
Yeah.
year.
Really glad we did it. We had to move our entire holiday.
Yeah. So, cutting it short, we're not booking any holidays this year because of that reason. We've said if we go away,
Mallorca.
we'll do it last minute. Because, if we're going to get married in Mallorca, sorry. We said we'll go for 2 weeks.
Yeah, maybe. Just basically going to Mallorca to see, like, if we like any bars out there, if we like any boat trips, and then we can, like...
Hotels.
Yes, hotels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like a sneaky America
Sorry, guys,
trip.
my top's falling down because of this mic.
Your mic. I'd like a sneaky America trip, but...
Yeah, we know you would. Everyone wants a sneaky America trip. Detroit?
Detroit, part 4. See you there?
The draft is at Green Bay this year. So basically, for my female followers, the draft is like where they pick players for each team.
Yeah.
That's a short way of putting it.
Yeah.
It's in Green Bay this year. I mean, I'm glad it were in Detroit last year, otherwise we wouldn't have got all them Detroit experiences.
I'm glad it was in Detroit because it was a place we'd never been to. Mm-hmm. And the way I'm trying to justify it in my head, being a Packers fan, is getting to Green Bay is a
I'm really sorry,
big
Dan.
trip.
You're going to have... I've got really bad bowels.
Please don't.
No. Dan, you can't hold Trumps in.
If
It
you
gives
had
you bellyache.
smell-o-vision, it's disgraceful, actually.
He says I Trump like a man.
You do. Facts.
Well, maybe I've got IBS or something.
That is every girl's excuse for farting. I cannot begin to tell you the amount of company I've kept in girls, your friends, family, where they'll let out a fart and go, oh, I've got IBS. Like, no, you've not. Like, you've not.
Listen,
you might do, and I'm not knocking it, but you just farted.
I am in the comfort of my own home. I'm going to Trump.
Fair enough.
Thank you, darling.
But anyway, we're not going back to Green Bay this year.
We might do. You never know.
Fingers crossed.
Listen, we've got our own personalised cheesehead now, so you never know.
You never know.
Right, I think let's... everyone wanted us on Instagram to play a game of this or that.
Love that.
So, do you want to do yours first?
Yeah, I'll go first. Okay. We had some community questions.
Oh, and by the way, just for anyone watching / listening, let us know what you want us to chat about. Like,
Yeah.
ask us questions. We're going to make this a regular thing.
Do you want me to ask you some of the questions that people have asked? I'll go straight into the game.
No, just do the game first.
Game. Love it. Let's do this. Cheryl Cole or Britney Spears?
You've done that for me?
Yeah.
Wow. Oh my God, that's really tough. So, no, it really is. So he's done this because I'm a Cheryl Cole super fan. People might think that's bizarre. Cheryl Cole in her prime needed to be studied. She was a wag. She was beautiful, talented. I don't give a shit if people say she's a bad singer. The way she performs, sorry, I'm going on a Cheryl Cole rant, but I love her so much. This is terrible. I'm going to go with Cheryl Cole.
Cheryl Cole.
I do love Britney. She'll always be part of my childhood as well.
Prawns or salmon?
Prawns.
Prawns
I'm addicted
all day.
to them.
Right. You could never visit one of these places ever again.
So I've got to pick.
Pick the one. Oh.
Yeah, it's not this or that.
No, it's not, is it?
Can you move up a little bit?
Which destination then? And the one that you don't pick, you can never visit ever again. New York or Disney World?
So I'll pick this or that?
Yeah.
Holy shit. No, I'm actually going to... Oh, my God.
You pick New York, you are mental.
But there's Disneyland California and Disneyland Paris.
No, it's the Disney park.
Oh, we've changed
I'm going
it.
to throw that
Right,
in
well,
there.
I've got to get rid of New York then. Oh.
Love Island or Vampire Diaries?
Ooh, yeah, but current Love Island or like iconic Love Island?
Just Love Island. You can never watch any episode of Love Island ever again.
I probably genuinely would get rid of... Oh my God. I'm going to have to get rid of Love Island because that's embarrassing. And I'd never see Damon or Klaus ever again, would I?
The only thing... So I started watching Vampire Diaries with Lauren. It was all right. I kept up with it.
It's only popular because the men are fit. Stand by it.
No, some of the storylines was decent, but then people were dying and the next minute they'd be back and they'd be like, a really big character would die. You're like, oh yeah, that's great. And then the next, we found a cure. And I'm like, please stop
Usually
it.
Bonnie
Leave
bringing
him
them back to
dead,
life.
man.
Yeah.
Like, he was the boyfriend that died and then
They've all died and come back to life.
he was human.
Apart from Aunt Jenna.
What was he from? He was one of our favourite characters. And then he all of a sudden just came back as like a hunter or something. You're like, who's this?
Yeah, there's been more's happened since then. I
The
don't
aunt's
know that one.
boyfriend.
Oh, Alaric.
There you
Alaric.
go. Alaric was great, and then was just always there after dying. Great.
Yeah.
Jellycats or Disney ears?
Oh, Disney ears. All day.
The one that you pick, you can never go to the other one ever again. Home Bargains or Home Sense?
Oh, that's rotten.
Good on that one, isn't it?
I'd get rid of home sense. It's more expensive. Yeah.
Interesting. Last one. For this is going to go down. You can never change it. Packers or Lions. It's time that you stop sitting on the fence with this bandwagon, I'm just a girl nonsense NFL team. You got to pick one right now.
I'm just going to say it again, honestly. If you were here, I got really shouted at for shouting down the mic. And you're shouting at me.
This is my indoor voice.
You shouting at me?
This is my indoor voice.
Packers, right, so I need to explain. No, I do.
Okay.
Right. So the Packers, I became a fan because of you.
Yeah.
And I love your journey with it. And I adore my cheese head. I think it's the coolest thing ever. Don't get embarrassed by it. I love it. But I've never had my own NFL team. Like, so people will say I'm a fan of this team because I went here when I was little. I've never had that. And then when I went to Detroit and it was connected to Eminem and I loved the colours and I just loved the vibe. I felt like that was my NFL team with my own journey.
But the difference is, you wore a Green Bay Packers jersey the other day. That is like me saying, oh, I love United. I'm just going to wear a Liverpool
I am
top
going
around
to
the
stand
house.
strong with this, Dan. Like, I don't even know the rules of the NFL. I'm vibing with the jerseys and the cheesehead and the Lions. Like, it's not deep for me.
So you're sitting on a fence still?
I am going to keep sitting on the fence for a little while.
Disgraceful.
Right, okay. Oh, your sister's texted me asking what spa I go to. Woodland Spa, banging. Right. My this or that for you. Chinese or an Indian?
Indian all day.
Oh, I wanted to start off
I
strong.
would eat an Indian every single night of the week. The same meal. Beelash Balti House. Big it up.
Yeah. Oasis or Stone Roses?
Oh, this is so hard.
I'm really sorry if my mic's ruffling, guys. My top keeps falling down.
It's hard because without the Stone Roses, you wouldn't have had Oasis.
No, that's not.
But that is so true.
So true, but who's the better band? Which music do you like more?
Oasis.
It's getting rid of Sometimes
I actually said to Lauren before, because we were listening to it in the kitchen, if anything ever happened to me, carry me in to Made of Stone blasting out. It's my favourite.
You did say they were shit live, though.
They are shit like because they're old. Like when I went to watch him a couple of years ago, Ian Brown, bless him, was like 50. Like his voice is gone, but it was just sick.
I do get really upset because we've booked Oasis for summer, but if I end up pregnant, which I can't say I will or I won't, and I don't want to like say anything, but
Dan's going on his own. If anyone wants to come with
I
me.
can't go to an Oasis concert pregnant, let's put it that way.
No.
Breaking Bad or Sopranos?
Sopranos.
You saying bye to Walter White?
Yeah. Okay. No thought, no thinking. Sopranos.
I need to get back
TV
into Breaking
show.
Bad though. Elope or a big wedding?
Oh, elope all day.
Shut your mouth.
Elope all
Shut up.
day. If you said to me, do you want to just sod off to Disney World? We'll have a little registry.
You don't elope at Disney World.
Have a little registry off this wedding and then go in the parks that on that night. Like, yeah, let's do it.
You would get us married with Elvis in Vegas, you.
That'd be sick. It'd be iconic.
Iconic. Go back to the past for a day or go back to the future for a day? I did feel like that could get quite deep, but...
Can you go back to the future? It's a movie. I would go back to the past for one day.
You're going to make me cry?
No.
What would you do?
I would probably go back to... That is such a hard question. I would probably go back to just before I moved to London.
Oh, you're going to make me cry.
Yeah. Just before I moved to London.
Why?
I'd want to speak to my dad again. I'd have a really nice conversation with him.
Why are we crying?
I don't know. And I would want... Can I speak to my younger self?
Oh my God, I'm crying. Yeah, you can speak to your younger self. Well, no, you can't because you're you.
I would speak to my dad again. Because that was the last time I saw my dad. No, I wasn't. I'm lying to you. Last time I saw my dad was he came down to visit me in London. Him, my mum, and Nicola and Chris, my brother-in-law and my sister. But I'd want to see him back at home. I'd speak to my dad again. And if I could speak to my younger self whilst I was there, I'd just give him advice. Tell him not to be so stubborn. Tell him to forgive people. Don't make so many mistakes. And not to be so hard on yourself.
One of the hardest things in life, and that's why we've both just got upset. I and I got shit for this on my last podcast with you, by basically wording it wrong.
Yeah.
I don't mean ever that it's easier to lose someone suddenly than it is
No.
to lose someone to cancer, say, because I've lost my auntie to cancer. She was only 30, and to see her deteriorate the way she did and how poorly she was, I wouldn't wish that on anyone. But there's just something about someone going out just to the pub or something and not coming back.
Yeah.
It's horrible. I have really bad trauma from, I don't know if you got a phone call with your dad, but you were with me when I got a phone call about my little brother. Yeah. And I'll never, ever unhear my dad saying something's happened and you need to come home. And it was just so sudden. We never thought we'd lose the 16-year-old boy in the family.
When I found out about my dad, I remember being a kid, not to get very deep now, there was a girl that got very sadly murdered in the UK. I think her name was Millie Dowell, I think her name was. I remember growing up and reading it in the papers. And one thing really stuck out to me that her mum and dad said, the last time they ever spoke to her, she said that she loved him. And she always made a point of the last thing she ever said on the phone was, love you, bye, love you, bye. And that's why it always stuck with me. And that's why I do that all the time. And
oh my God, like Rita and Dan say they love each other like 50 times a day.
It's
Dan's
just like
mum.
ingrained into my brain now. And I'd gone into central London with my mates on like a Friday night. And I was going to a nightclub. I was 18, like first proper night out in London. And my mum rang me, panicking like mad, like, please be safe, don't be an idiot, don't drink too much. I was like, fine, love you, bye. And then my dad rang me, and my dad was like, please be careful, she's worried about you. And I had a conversation with him, and I was like, I promise I'll be okay, I love you. And that was the last thing I ever said to him. And getting into adulthood now, that does give me a little bit of comfort to know that the last thing I ever said to him was, I love you. Yeah. And then the day after, my mum was texting me. I was staying at my mate's in London, and my cousin was stationed with the RAF in London, and she was like, oh, Karen wants to meet up with you. And being a 18-year-old idiot, I was like, no, I'm fine, I'm hungover, blah, 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 blah. And she was like, no, she wants to see you. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll go and meet her. What's the postcode? I gave her the postcode. And then my mum texted me and was like, Karen's outside. So I said to my mates, I was like, oh, my cousin's outside, I'm going to go and say hello. And I walked outside, and my mum, my sister, my brother-in-law was stood there. And then, I can't remember what she said to me, but I just remember being like, heartbroken. And then we drove from London to Guildford, which is where I was living, got some clothes.
Did they tell you at that point?
Yeah, they told me at that point. I can't remember what she said. I remember something saying like, your dad. And the first thing that came into my head, I thought, oh my God, he's had an affair. And then she told me what happened. And I just remember like literally crying. Guildford to Manchester is like a 4-hour drive, like just crying for 4 hours.
You were only young.
Yeah, I was 18. I weren't even a man.
No.
Not at all. If I was going to go back, I'd go back then, just to speak to him again.
Speak to your dad.
Yeah.
He'd be very, very proud, and we also feel like it's bizarre, but we always feel like he's with us because everything links back to him.
Some weird things that have happened where...
Like, I remember we were in Vegas and we just stopped in the middle of the corridor and you went, what Super Bowl is it? Yeah, and I went 58 and you went, that's the age my dad died. So for that to be the first and kind of last at the moment Super Bowl we ever got to...
Yeah.
For that to link to a number with your dad, I just think he got you there.
There was a big thing with the Super Bowl where it was Lauren was invited with a brand, I wasn't at that point, and we kind of stuck to our guns on it and was like, thankfully for Lauren really sort of saying, Dan's my partner, the NFL is our thing. I can't
go to the Super Bowl without Dan. Like, my entire reason I do NFL on my page is because of your connection with your dad.
Yeah.
You've introduced me to it. I know that that's your dream, and I didn't want to just go and live it and just be like, hashtag influencer, hashtag gifted. I wanted it to mean something the first time I ever went there. So
we fought to literally the week before they were like,
Dan can go.
We were like, amazing. And we were walking down the Vegas Strip, and Lauren said to me, we were talking about my dad, and she was like, how old was your dad when he died? I was like, 58. And then coming towards us, we saw Super Bowl 58.
No, it was in Vegas. We were walking down the hotel.
Yeah. And we saw all the Super Bowl 58 signs.
No, that's not what happened. You must have said that at some point, but you just stopped dead in the middle of the corridor
Yes, I
and you
did.
went, I think my dad were 58, and I literally got
did,
chills.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of weird stuff happens around the number 58.
I think we'll end up doing another episode on like your
Yeah,
dad and everything.
yeah.
Like, there's so much we can say about the weird stuff that's happened, and then my brother, and
Yeah.
it's been a lot, hasn't it?
Yeah.
And then obviously we had a miscarriage last year, which was just horrendous, wasn't it? Worst thing we've ever been through by a mile together.
Makes you
Dan-
stronger though.
Yeah, it does. And Dan knows I like speaking about it because it really helps me, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I can't speak about it to Dan and get really upset, but I can speak about it to other people because I know that a lot of people have been through it.
Yeah.
Something really comforting about that. I bet you find, well, I do, when I speak to other people who've lost a sibling or you speak to other people who've lost a dad, there's just a connection. It's a weird feeling. Anyway.
Yeah.
Got very deep.
Let me check the phone battery very quickly. We are, I believe we're good. Let's carry on.
Okay. And we've only been going for half an hour.
Love that.
Okay, the next this or that is never go to Disney World ever again or never go to Green Bay ever again.
That is... I'm going to one-up you. I will never go to Green Bay ever again because I'll go and watch them play in a different place.
Yeah, but it's Green Bay, the place.
Yeah, but I can go
you'll
watch
never
you in Nashville.
You'll never go to Lambeau ever again.
Oh, that's tough. I'm going to pick... Oh, sugar, that's hard.
No form of Disney ever again. Magic sucks from the world.
Yeah, I'm going to go to Disney.
Yeah. Get rid of Manchester United or get rid of the Packers?
I'd get rid of United at this point. My gosh. Yeah.
Get rid of United in their prime, 90s, doing really well, or get rid of the Packers? Your dad will be kicking and screaming.
I'd get rid of the Packers.
in Manchester United's prime.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no feeling quite... When we were watching that David Beckham documentary, they were sick, weren't they?
Because I love... I've not got a United tattoo. I've got a Packers tattoo. I love the Packers. But there is that slight
You
disconnect.
got a Packers tattoo?
I've got a very big Packers tattoo. There is that little bit of a disconnect 'cause I can't go and watch them all the time.
If I had £1 for every time Dan pulled his pants
I
up.
spent 800 quid on that thing. So if anybody asks to see it, you best believe I'm getting a leg out.
Right, next one. Night out with your friends or date night?
Date night.
Are you saying that to peace, mate? Because you're
No.
going... Hang on. Where are you going tomorrow?
I'm going to Benidorm.
What day is
But
it?
this is like Graham...
Excuse me?
One sec, this is like Graham Norton. So we film it on a Thursday and pretend it's Friday. So we might post this on Monday.
Yeah, you know, just... All you need to know, guys, is he's going to Benidorm for Valentine's weekend.
Yeah, but what's... Valentine's Day is the corporations telling us to be loving to each other. I'm loving to you 365 days of the year. I don't need Valentine's Day.
You're bloody not.
To show you.
You're
that I
bloody
care.
not. I got a coffee in bed this morning for the first time in 5 years.
Yeah, I like to keep you on your toes.
All right, last one. Super Bowl in its prime. World Cup in its prime.
Who's in the Super Bowl and who's in the World Cup?
Doesn't matter. It's just in its prime. Like imagine the best World
I'd
Cup
pick a Super Bowl every single day of the week.
over a World Cup.
Yeah.
Even if England were in the World Cup.
See, that's different.
Right, no, that's
because
its prime,
no,
isn't it? To
that's
you-
different.
to you, that's
because I said who's in it, and you went, well, it don't really
No,
matter.
I'm saying imagine the best possible Super Bowl for you or the best possible World Cup for you. Right, England winning the World Cup or Green Bay winning the Super Bowl.
England winning the World Cup, innit? Only because, hear me out on
shocked,
this.
mate.
As an Englishman,
An
to
Englishman?
see that, an Englishman,
Why did you do Italian hands?
an Englishman,
An Englishman.
to see England do that would be insane. Like,
Okay.
insane. Life-changing, because it's never going to happen ever again.
I'm sorry, but every time England are in the Euros, I get this banging. I'm not even
Exactly.
into football, and it's banging, isn't it?
Whereas in our lifetime, in my lifetime, the Packers have won it twice. England probably will never get to another final of a major event in our lifetime.
Oh, you can't say that.
This is the issue with those... I watch England only in a major tournament, is that they get used to all this, like, yeah, it's coming on. No.
It's coming on.
I
It's
remember the
coming.
golden generation. Becks, Scholes, Gerrard, Lampard, Rooney, Shearer was in there, David Seaman, John Terry,
hang
Ferdinand.
on.
Did we win anything? No, we didn't.
What's that fit one? I like I've got a bit of a hear me out cake with a footballer at the minute. He's not a footballer now, but he's on all your podcasts.
He's on my podcast.
Yeah, you listen to him.
Gary Neville?
Yeah, I fancy him. He's fitting.
Probably the only girl in human history,
No.
other than his wife, who fancies Gary Neville.
No, that's not true. Honestly, Gary Neville's on a lot of hear me out cakes. He's aged like a fine wine.
Yeah, but it's not hard, is it? Like, even he jokes about it. Like, his main joke on his own podcast is like, I was weird looking. And like, yeah.
Well, he's fit. Deal with it.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I don't know who he is or what he played for or anything. I just know he's fit now.
One of the best right backs to ever play in the Premier League.
Is there?
Yeah, he played for United.
What a guy.
What a guy.
I feel like we've covered quite a nice amount in this podcast, but we'll finish with some questions.
Love it.
Let's not try and go too much into them because you'll cry when the podcast is 2 hours long.
Yeah.
So we're just going to round off with some
Quick
questions.
fire.
Okay. How did I know that Dan was the one?
Come on.
Just look at him.
He's the one.
You're the one. Because just we connected on every single level.
Yeah, we did.
Geekiness, everything. When did we first realise that we loved each other? Oh, piss off.
Lauren loved me before I loved her. I think even like date 3, she was like, I love you. And I was like, yeah, I know.
I'm not taking the piss. He actually said, I know.
Let me show. So for Valentine's Day, she bought me that. Star Wars.
If you're listening, it's a Star Wars picture of I love you, I know.
Han Solo says, I know.
Rude. Next question. How did we get together? I'll let you take the floor with this. It's a question we get asked on a day-to-day basis.
So we got together because my old job was I worked for a private, like, actor training, I'd probably say.
Because I was a wannabe actor.
We had contracts with like the BBC, ITV, where we would work on shows and work with actors. But then we also offered in the evening, like, acting classes to adults.
They were very expensive.
They were very expensive. And Lauren came wanting to be an actor.
He never taught my class, but I used to be like, oh, who's that hunk?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then COVID happened. I ended up leaving. And I thought, I'm going to shoot my shot here.
Yeah, so...
Added you on Facebook. You ignored it.
Yeah, I did.
3 times. You didn't even decline it. You aired me.
Yeah, I did.
You left my request saying request sent.
You were 23, I want to say?
23, wannabe actor, thought, oh, who's that hunk in the tight pants?
Thanks.
He didn't even look my way. And then all of a sudden, lockdown comes. I get a friend request.
Yeah, because I just think professional standards, and then COVID happened.
You added me on Facebook. That was your move.
That's the short version.
It's really not that, like, I wish I could just say I met him on Tinder, but I didn't. Did I get the potato or the egg jelly cat, guys?
She got both.
I got both. And I also, what you forgot to mention, got you a golf ball jelly cat.
Yeah, she did.
£20 for a golf ball, littler than my hand.
It's better than the potato, let's be honest.
Potato is so cute. The next question is, how long have we been together? Are you engaged? Sarah Lou, where have you been, hun?
5, is it 5 years, 4 years?
It's 5 years this year.
5 years this year, and yes, we are engaged, Sarah Lou.
And what are we looking most forward to about the wedding? Not spending 50 grand.
Nothing at the moment.
I'm going to give mine to end the podcast because I'm getting kicked because it's going over 40 minutes.
No, that's me needing a way, if I'm honest. I'm like, pinching my legs.
I am most looking forward to literally feeling like a princess in my dress, walking down the aisle with my dad to like a beautiful song and just seeing Dan at the end. Like, I physically cannot even wait for that moment. I could cry thinking about it.
I think it's having...
Being with the lads.
No, having the people that you truly care about, that you truly love, together.
Yeah.
For me.
So, nothing about me.
Yeah, well, you're involved in that, aren't you?
I'm involved in the wedding. I'd like to hope so, Daniel.
Yeah. I mean, she's paying for half of it, so
Right,
you have to
so
be...
my answer was a lot more loving.
Yeah.
I'm paying for it, pardon. Okay.
Guys.
Lauren
and Dan Chinwagging. That's the name of the podcast.
Yeah. Loz and Dan. 2K,
Loz and Dan Unpacked.
2K25. Yeah. Let us know what you think of the name Lauren and Dan Unpacked.
Yeah. And anything you want to ask us, drop it in the comments.
Drop it in like it's hard. No, sorry.
Is that even a song?
Didn't
Drop
work.
it in like it's hard. I don't think it's a song.
Thank you for listening. Let
Thanks
us know
for
your
watching.
thoughts. Oh yeah, YouTube and Spotify this, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. If Dan uploads it, because I won't.
I'm going to edit and upload it on Monday. You've heard it here first. It's been great.
Love you all.